Greetings YouTube, Skill Incarnate bringing you all the latest indie gaming goodness. I kind of have a thing for politically incorrect games in case you haven't noticed, and it's no surprise that Postal 2 holds a special place in my heart. It was a game ahead of its time, a game that probably couldn't be released in the current climate, and that's probably why I like it so much. So, when Hyperstrange and Running with Scissors reached out to me to try this sequel, Postal Brain Damaged, I was scrambling to get my hands on it. This game is a boomer shooter. It's inspired by Doom, and it seems an odd choice for a Postal game. But let me tell you, it's one of the most fun games I've ever played. Now this game is going to offend some people, consider this your one and only warning. But if you're going to stick around, let's blow some stuff up in Postal Brain Damaged.
You are about to enter another dimension. A dimension of sound. A dimension of sight. A dimension of mind. You are moving into a land.
The fuck? Get out of here, you Rod Serling wannabe. This is my dream. So, listen up. As I said, this is my dream. Like, you will encounter things so fucked up that the current global situation will sound perfectly sane in comparison. Once you see this shit, there's no coming back. And it all started with a TV. Yeah, I'm a simple man. I hear about that one kooky punch-drunk German director guy's best video games movie marathon, and I want to see it. Like, you know, in the name of the kink instant classic, House of Death. Fuck yeah. Fart cries? Boom. Headshot. But, fuck. There's something really, really wrong here. I wake up in a suburb of all places, like it's some shitty nightmare. A neighborhood full of trigger-happy retired policemen, saggy middle-aged soccer moms, and really angry, leg-biting, ass-munching pet pooches. Oh, and my TV isn't working. And that, my dear friend, is only the beginning. So, this is my story.
We begin the game in the suburbs. This is a sunny day, the sun is shining, the grass is freshly cut, the people are happy. So we need to start killing them. We are the Postal Dude after all. Now to do that, we're going to have to get our hands on some weapons.
You load 16 tons. What do you get?
First weapon in the game, I guess a shovel chainsaw. That's as close as I can get. And this thing, like all of the weapons in the game, absolutely slap.
Smarter than me.
The pistol, I mean, it's actually a nice ranged weapon. Most of the weapons in the game really well thought of. Now, of course, I'm going to use my biggest weapon, the cannon. I had to be careful because of YouTube. So I'm probably going to be using a lot of euphemisms in this video. But your cannon can be upgraded with several different abilities, including being able to shoot flames and ice out of the tip. Yes, I'm serious. Now the next thing is the weapons. I mean, the weapons in this game, very, very precise, very well done. I mean, the thing about Doom was the weapons were very iconic. And as a Doom inspired shooter, they've obviously taken clear inspiration from Doom.
Look, you did this. Fear the pink mist.
All of the weapons very, very powerful, very useful.
That didn't turn out so well.
And as you can see, very effective against the civilian population. Now, one of the things about Postal was, you know, you could kill innocent people. In this game, it kind of incentivizes it because Everything's out to kill you, and you're going to need to get your hands on as much health as you can. So we're going to be chasing down some of these cities for their goodies. Most of the enemies are very tough too, and they can strip your health in seconds, so you do have to get pretty good with the different weapons. It also helps if you can save a little bit of ammo in the early game.
Did I ever tell you about Dr. Kevorkian?
I love that they have a lot of the original Postal references in here. They have the original voice actor. They have a lot of the original characters. You can see there's little crotchies everywhere. I believe Gary Coleman is in the game. I don't know if it's actually voiced by Gary Coleman. I hope so, otherwise it's a massive missed opportunity. The game is, it's obviously they've toned it down for this game, and the cartoon style graphics they help to offset the very violent nature of the game. Oh, damn it.
Next.
I have no idea what that is, but it's dead now. There's a lot of really cool references in the game. I have no idea what this joke is. Something about hoarding toilet paper with COVID, I'm assuming. I can't carry any more pistol bullets. Now, I didn't expect to see this from Postal game. I expected, your standard Postal going around shooting people. The humor, the humor of the games is still here. But if you're worried that there isn't going to be another canon sequel to Postal, there is a Postal 4 in development.
Life has expired, dumbass.
And I am greatly anticipating the release of Postal 4. I do hope that I will be able to get my hands on it so I can bring it to you in all of its politically incorrect glory. Of course, because we're so banged up, we're going to have to bang up these civilians. You can find goodies all throughout the levels, and much like Doom, there's a lot of hidden caches of weapons and supplies if you're willing to have a look. And all the weapons kind of have their place. They're all very precise. This game, has no business being as well put together as it is. I mean, it's meant to be a joke game. It's meant to be a Postal game. Yet somehow they've managed to create a very, very competent boomer shooter. Far better than a lot of other shooters I've played. Here we have the crazy cat lady's house. Now, you can actually end the cats. And it's a great way to get some health. Now, one of the massive missed opportunities from the game is in Postal 2 you were able to, how shall I say this, use the cat as an improvised suppressor for your firearms. Unfortunately, you cannot do that. I'm sure that Peter had something to do with that decision. But this has been a great way to get some health back. I'll take that ammo. Now, in terms of problems with the game, the enemies seem to have a minimum range that's very small. And you can kind of open fire on most enemies in the big areas before they can see you. You ain't gonna fool me, buddy. And you can see each of the enemies has a very, very clear reference to a Doom enemy. got the flying guys, similar to a cacodemon. These dogs are your pig demons. And you can open fire on enemies from a very, very large distance and pick them off. It would be nice for enemies to... I mean, actually too, when you open fire, if you miss, they won't start attacking you until you get a hit on them. So I think the enemy AI needs a little bit of work. It's a little bit simplified, and they've kind of offset that by just adding large amounts of enemies. So I mean, the game is definitely hard, but the enemies in this game are pretty dumb. The enemy AI is probably the weakest point of the game. But I mean, this is a game where I'm running around with a shovel with a chainsaw on the end, cutting people's heads off. So I guess realism isn't really a big concern for the game. But you can see the inspiration from Doom. This game very, very heavily influenced from Doom 2016, from Doom Eternal. We're about to get a weapon that you can see it's almost a like for like rip of the Doom shotgun. Now we're going to have a pretty nasty fight, so I'm going to go and get myself
over here.
The hooker. Now when I say hooker, I mean the shotgun with the hook on the end, not the other type of hooker that will get me banned off YouTube.
What you made me do?
Might need those later. There's some goodies in the yard we can get, and we want to try and top off our shotgun. Shotgun, very, very precise, very powerful, nice weapon overall. All the weapons in this game kind of have their own uses, and I think that's one of the biggest strengths of this game. I mean, it's way, way better as a shooter than it should be. For a game that's meant to be a joke game, the controls are tight, the weapons are really good, and the game is just fun to play. And while this couldn't, of course, compete with Doom, the absolute pinnacle of shooters, it's a pretty damn close second. Now we can go and get ourselves some extra shells by using a sliding jump. Takes a little bit of practice. I pulled that off first time because I'm good. And we'll get that. Oh, yep, there's some armor up there. We'll pinch that too. I'm having that. Yeah, when I first heard about the game, the alarm bells rang because I'm like, Postal's a very particular type of game. You don't want to stray from the formula, or at least you don't want to stray to a massive extent, because the game is, it is what it is. Oops, I didn't mean to get that, but that's okay. We need the shells. You don't want to stray from the formula because the game, it was very good at one thing, and I was worried that they would tone some of the more spicy influences of the game down, and they have kind of, but I mean they've kept the spirit of the game intact. Now we have the hot sauce, which turns our cannon into a flamethrower. We may need to use that later. I can't say that on YouTube, but I'm pretty sure you get the reference there. Again, I mean, I don't know why I like this game so much. I just do. Everything about it's just really well done. And all of the reviews on the game were from people, other YouTubers that were just flabbergasted that this game was such a really well designed shooter. I mean, the guys have obviously, I don't know if they've gotten someone from ID Software to assist with the game, but I mean, this wouldn't look out of place in an ID game. And the low poly models put me off at first because yeah, obviously they're not as nice as some of the other games, but and I understand why they did it, because you can't really have a game like this with, you know, hyper realistic graphics if you're blowing people away. The sensors on Steam would absolutely shut that down within seconds. So it's just a shame that they couldn't use a similar style to Postal 2. But I got used to it after a while. It's a minor gripe. And they kept all of the, you know, the glorious violence of Postal in the previous games intact.
Giblet? I hardly know it.
Lord Almighty.
All the weapons just really punchy and useful to use. I love it. So next thing we need to do is get our hands on the key to exit the level. I like this kind of dream sequence too. It lets them kind of take the game out of reality and create these unique levels. My only complaint is that the enemies kind of feel a little bit generic. I would have liked some more Postal themed enemies. And it does later on in the game become a little bit more Postal themed. But in the early game, the dream sequences feel nothing like a Postal game.
So long, dearie.
It's like looking in a really fucked up mirror.
The design of the game is really good. It's even just down to small things like signposts telling you where to go. Because these are very big levels, it's easy to get lost. There are colour-coded doors that have lights around them, just giving you subtle hints on where you need to go next. Little things, just really, really well designed levels. And I mean, the game has kept its sense of humour. You can find plenty of references in the game.
Those moronic developers thought they could hide this from me?
Again, there's a lot of really cool secrets in the game. If you're willing to have a look, you can find some really cool stuff. And there's a lot of references to other video games in here as well. And it's good timing because I really needed some ammo. Now, one of the other problems is around the performance of the game. You'll notice that there's a little bit of slowdown, more than a little, when there's a lot of movement on screen at once. Oh, how the hell do we get down from here? Oh, no fall damage, of course. Doom. So next we need to get up to the floating houses up top.
Country for me.
Now, thanks to all of these weapon caches, I've got a fair bit of ammo. I can afford to be a little bit generous with my ammo usage. The problem is when you're using this weapon, the game does slow down a little bit because of all the blood. So I think the main thing they need to do right now is
How they make chunky salsa.
performance optimization. I'm still really pissed that I didn't include glory kills in the game. Need the blue key. Now I believe it's through here. Yeah, the Doom references are kind of thick and fast in this game. What I would have done is have the weapons and ammo be a little more scarce and then use a glory kill system or something similar to incentivize players to use the chainsaw weapon, or maybe something similar, a execution style weapon that you can use to get some ammo. Hey! Oh, you don't want to know where that guy got shotgun. There we go, I missed the key. Right, we can head on down to the exit now. I mean, the guys have done a really good job with level design. That was my own stupidity missing that. Oh, damn! Oh, the death metal house. So we can actually go into the death metal house, where there's a bunch of weebs and nerds having a party, and go and say hello. Oh, no one's getting out alive. Sorry, fellow nerds. There's a lot of really funny jokes, some COVID references in there about stimulus checks. And speaking of stimulus checks, I mean, if you've been seeing the game so far, you may want to spend your leftover from your stimulus check on this game. I can think of worse ways to spend your money. One of the other cool things I like about the game too is the even though the weapons are very punchy, the weapon design is really cool. They feel like all like different scrap homemade weapons. It works really well into the post-apocalyptic theme of the game. Take those shells. We're looking good. Now we've got a bit of a fight coming up. Sorry, buddy. My house now.
Jeez.
But yeah, I've really been enjoying this game. I didn't expect to enjoy it as much as I did, and while there are some little issues like performance and problems with the game slowing down and stuttering a bit, I mean, the Postal games have never been the perfect example of an optimized game. They've always had their problems, but because the games were very clever and they were willing to go in directions that traditional games wouldn't, I've always been somewhat forgiving of that fact.
Suddenly I have a hankering for some gulag. Do dream kills count? Ow.
And everything is really precise in this game too, like the controls, although when I can hit something, I'm not doing a very good job. And that is the end of the first level of Postal. Now, Postal Brain Damaged isn't Postal 4. Postal 4 is coming out, hopefully soon. And if it does, I hope to bring you the game. As for my verdict for this game, it's an absolute win. It's a boomer shooter I didn't know I needed. It's a game that I didn't expect to like as much as I did. I heartily recommend the game, and I recommend you guys to give it a try. If you're a fan of Doom, if you're a fan of Doom Eternal, this is an automatic win. I mean, the game, obviously, if you haven't played the other ones and you are easily offended, then you may find that this game is a bit too much for you, but I think it's pretty tame. In terms of the Postal games, they have ratcheted the level of spice back a bit, and I understand why they've done it, because I don't think the type of humour in Postal 2 would fly nowadays, unfortunately. But other than that, this is a fantastic game. Go and give it a try. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave me a like, leave me a subscribe, let me know in the comments, and I'll see you guys next time.